Today I'm going to be showing you guys how good of a tool Gemini actually is. Now, if you haven't been following Twitter, basically Google's own Twitter account, they recently tweeted out saying you guys should be using Gemini to further optimize and boost your online presence. And they got a lot of backlash. As you can see, a lot of SEOs started hating on them, saying that Gemini absolutely sucks. So let's actually put the tool to the test. So basically what I've set up here is a very simple prompt. All three of these tools should be capable of answering the actual prompt. And then once we actually have the article, we're going to be running it through Phrase, and we're also going to be running it through Hemingway. If you guys don't know what Phrase is, it's basically like a Surfer SEO equivalent. It gives you like a content score on the right hand side. And if you don't know what
Did you know that 81% of businesses are overspending when it comes to actually trying to rank their website organically in Google? That's why I've decided to create the Traffic Accelerator system. It will tell you exactly what your website is lacking. The Traffic Accelerator system will tell you exactly how many backlinks you need, what articles you're missing on your website, and also how to internally link those articles together to gain topical authority. Now, if you're struggling to rank on Google, click the link down below, get the Traffic Accelerator system for your website. It's only $195 and it will tell you exactly everything your website is lacking.
Hemingway Editor. It basically gives you a readability score. So, for example, it gives you a grade, and so typically a good way of understanding how good your content is from a readability point of view. If your content is potentially too fluffy, you do get a lower grade. So this is right now currently a grade 8, which is okay. Typically, the higher the grade, the better. So, I mean, like, for example, if we were to just remove these two sentences, and as you can see, the grade has actually increased, or went down, sorry. So, let's get started. So, this is the prompt here. The prompt is, can you write me an article for personal injury lawyers, New York? Can you include LSIs? So, if any of you guys don't know what an LSI is, it's basically a semantically relevant keyword. So, for example, personal injury lawyer for New York is your primary keyword, but you might have accident injury lawyer New York, which could also be the same as personal injury. I've also said, can you include secondary phrases as well? So secondary keywords can be like easier to win keywords, especially if you are a newer website, you want to be including some secondary keywords within your article. Then you've got, I also want you to include the primary keyword in the first and also the last sentence on the page. Can you also mention the name of my company, Casual Law? We have 20 years of experience. Can you also include 5 questions related to the primary keyword? And can you structure this article ready to be uploaded to my website? Now, as we can see here, we've also got a CASRA score, so I'm going to be grading the actual articles that each of the tools come back with, and the criteria of that is, does it mention the business name? Does it include the keyword in the first sentence? Does it include the keyword in the last sentence? Does it include 5 questions related to the keyword? And is the content structure easy to read? Now, if any of these tools do all of those, obviously I'm going to try and give it the highest score possible. I'm going to also have a few other grades as well, or a few other criteria, but let's go to each tool. Actually, I need to quickly log into Claude 1 second. So for this one, we're just going to be using Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and we're going to hit go. We're also going to head over to ChatGPT as well, and we're going to hit go on this. And last but not least, we're going to head over to Gemini, and we're going to hit go on this as well. So let's see. This is the first example. What we're going to do is we're just going to copy this. First of all, we're going to do the Hemingway test. And Hemingway, where is it? There we go. Hemingway. So it's got a grade 8, which isn't too bad. The words isn't the most, so it's 437 in length. What I might actually also do is I'll also create a length of the article. So Claude, 437. The Hemingway was 8, so it's not too bad. We're also going to do the phrase test as well. So I thought it would be fair and actually put the keyword that we're trying to rank for straight off the bat. So we are going to go for personal injury lawyers, New York. And basically this is going to create us like the actual document. It'll give us like the actual score on the right hand side. So if I click on start, it's going to go and extract all of the pages that are currently ranking for this keyword. And basically, once it actually has all of those articles, we can then paste our article into the content editor, and it's going to give us a score like 0 out of 100. So we'll let that do its thing very quickly. So it's just done its thing, and we're going to paste in our content here. So this is currently 26%. If I just move this here, there we go. So it's 26%. We'll look at some of the actual 26. The average is 51, so we're just half. So we'll put that into the actual Hemingway, into phrase. So that's 26%. I'm just going to quickly read the actual content and analyze it. I'm going to see if it's actually done the things that we need it to do. So does it actually mention the business name? Does it include the keyword in the first and also the last sentence? Does it include 5 questions? And is it just a well-structured, easy-to-read article, right? So if we just read this, obviously it's mentioned casual law, so that's okay. Has it included 5 questions? It's included 5 questions, but it's not answered the 5 questions, so I'm going to give it a 0 out of 10 for that. I also just don't like the how it's actually structured the content. I feel like it's just a little bit too little. When you're facing an aftermath of an accident in the bustling streets of New York. So it's not actually included our seed keyword, which is in personal injury lawyers New York, in the first sentence. Let's see if it's included in the last sentence. So it has included it in the second to last sentence, or the third to last sentence, which isn't too bad. I'm going to give this maybe like a out of 10. It's probably going to be like a 4 out of 10. So we'll go 4 out of 10. Let's go to ChatGPT next. I've got high hopes for this, if I'm being honest. So the actual content length is a lot better. We'll do this, and we'll just copy this, and then paste it into Hemingway first. So the grade is 10. Aim for 9, so we do have a higher grade, which is actually not too bad. Let's take a look at the actual score here. So grade 9 is, by the way, the best. You don't want to get like the super highest score, but so far it's actually a lot closer to the best score that you can get. So this is a grade 10. We should be aiming for like 9. We'll just put 9 down under. That's what we want to be aiming for, but obviously we've had an 8 from Claude, and ChatGPT is currently a 10. 10 is actually better than the actual 8, just so you guys know. So the content length is as well 835, which is probably in line with everybody else as well. Which is good to see. Now let's see, personal injury lawyers New York. It has mentioned it in the first sentence, which is good. It also has included 5 questions. It also has answered all 5 questions as well. Let's just see how well the actual structuring of the questions are. When you are analyzing your answers to your questions, when you're like, the best way that I like to do this is the answer should be very, very direct. It shouldn't be very fluffy. So if it's literally like question here and then answer underneath, the first sentence directly under the question should be answering the question, if that makes sense. So, for example, how much does it cost to hire a personal injury lawyer in New York? At Casual Law, we work on a contingency fee basis, meaning you don't need to pay unless we win your case, which is pretty decent. What should I do immediately after a personal injury accident? Seek medical attention, document the scene, gather witnesses and information. Do you know what? This is actually not too bad. Obviously, you could probably break up this sentence a little bit more because it is saying it is a little bit hard to read. So you could actually have like maybe like a full stop here, and it could definitely increase the actual readability and stuff. But so far, so good. And then the last one that we want to make certain of is if it actually includes our keyword in the last sentence, which it does. So I'm going to say that this is like probably like an 8 or 9 out of 10. The reason why it's not like a 10 out of 10 is because we've not compared Gemini yet. So I'm going to put this as an 8 out of 10 for now. 8 out of 10. And we'll also copy this into phrase and see what phrase gives us. So if we copy this, actually, I believe that we need to just copy this into phrase, right? And now, if we copy the rest in, copy that, paste it in. So as you can see, we have got a score of 30 on phrase. It still says that we should be aiming for like 2,000 words, so we are still on the lower end, but we are actually, as you can see, we've mentioned personal injury throughout the actual content a lot more. We have got a lot more greens than we did before with the actual Claude article. So if we go back to our grading sheet, that was, what was it, 31? 30. Is it 30? Yeah, 30. The average for this is 51. So again, we still are below average, but we are a lot higher than Claude. Now, last but not least, let's take a look at Gemini. I've got high hopes for this. Super high hopes, because obviously Google themselves have recommended SEOs to actually use this tool. So let's copy this into Hemingway first of all, and actually get the readability score, shall we? So it actually has scored the highest readability. It's graded 9, which is the best that you can get. The actual word count is pretty low, however. So again, if we go back to our sheet, so 9 is the word count that we want to get. The grade that we want to get. 439 is the words. So it's done 2 words more than actual Claude. Now let's take a look at the Cadra score. So has it included personal injury lawyers in New York in the actual starting sentence? Personal injury lawyer. No, it's not. That's not great. Does it mention it in the last? No, it's not. It's mentioned personal injury lawyer. That's not what I asked it to do. I wanted to include the keyword at the start of the sentence. And the reason for that, just so you guys understand a little bit more on that, is keywords that are higher up the actual content, it actually yields a little bit more power when Google's actually coming to crawl that article. From an SEO point of view, without getting too technological or too advanced, what you want to basically make certain of is your keyword that you're trying to rank for. It should literally be like within the first, maybe, okay, if it's not within the first sentence, at least within the first two sentences of the actual page. And this just hasn't done it. Literally just by having personal injury lawyer New York, that can make a massive difference in terms of ranking. Has it included 5 questions? No, it's not. Is this the correct article? 5 questions to ask a potential injury. Okay, so it's included 5 questions to ask an personal injury lawyer, but again, that's a completely separate article. That's not great. Like, for example, if I go to this, key questions to ask a personal injury lawyer, this is a completely different article than personal injury lawyer New York. So even like, yeah, it's not looking great here. Yeah, this is bad. Okay, the casual score for this is maybe 2 out of 10 because it's just went completely off topic. Now let's paste this into Gemini and see what's come back with. Or sorry, paste this into phrase. So if we copy this and then copy the rest of the actual content, paste this into phrase. This is bad. This is really bad. I can't believe Google's actually recommending this for people. So yeah, it's just not looking great at all. Like you look at the amount of greens that we've got now in comparison to what we had with the ChatGPT content. So this is the ChatGPT content. Look at the amount of greens. I mean, it's not everything's green, but if we compare this to the actual Gemini content, this is really bad. Yeah, this is not usable. Like that this article wouldn't even rank. I literally have no doubts about it. That's quite worrying that Google's actually recommended this. But again, it's always good to know. I think obviously the best one out of the lot is ChatGPT. You can one thing to bear in mind with all of these articles is this was with one prompt. I wanted to make certain that it is fair across the board. We're not going back and forth. We're not prompt engineering. But straight off the bat, this is like just one prompt. And yeah, ChatGPT clearly came out on top, as I kind of thought it would do, because I've never really been a big fan of Claude because Claude's not actually connected to the internet. It does have that little bit of a disadvantage as opposed to ChatGPT and Gemini. But yeah, it's not looking great for Gemini. I think out of the box, if you guys are going to be writing SEO optimized content and you want to do it for free, obviously ChatGPT. If you want to get like a paid tool that will basically sort it out for you, autoblogging is still my go-to favorite, but yeah, that's not great. The thing is that with the Gemini, with the Claude content, you could have at least went back and tried to like tweak it a little bit to get it better, but like the Gemini content just completely missed the mark completely. Like this is just another article. I wouldn't mention this within this article, and especially if like the reason why I'm pretty worried about this content as well is because somebody that doesn't understand SEO, they might not understand like content overlap, and they would just literally copy this content and paste it onto their article or onto their website. But you're actually going to harm your website by doing this. So yeah, that's not good. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please remember to leave a like and test this out yourself. Let me know what you guys come back with, what your thoughts are to this. But as always, if you guys want a free growth strategy call with myself, make certain to check out casualdash.com and fill in the contact form. Thanks.